points just before you start, Asil. Number one, in case Jaspinder and Nanu are somewhat close to each other, maybe that's the cause for this feedback. So please get further away from each other and close some doors in between.
When you want to distance between us.
Curb those animal
Yeah, this is not fair, man. You're bringing distance between us. Huh?
Point one. Point two. Nanu, it was decided before you joined by the commissioner that anyone whose face cannot be seen loses immediately 100 points.
Oh my
So
God.
you and Linda.
Nanu, show your face, please.
Yes,
There.
showing my
What?
face.
Oh, no.
I'm
Oh,
coming, I'm
yeah,
coming.
there we go.
I'm shifting to my
Okay.
laptop. Please don't minus any points.
Okay. No,
Linda,
no,
you've
no.
taken too long.
We have to sit
Minus 200.
separately. We have
Okay,
to sit
the
separately.
The only time people lose points is if their check doesn't clear. So, like that. So, shall we start?
Please, please,
Thanks.
Rasmus.
Yeah, thanks so much. So we'll try to get through this quickly. So thanks everyone for joining. This is primarily to answer questions. So ultimately, we'll do that. But I wanted to review some of the outlines because, for instance, Vivek wasn't there, and we can discuss further some of the refinements of what it is. But again, this is very basic, and we're trying to set in the basic framework of the process so that everyone can just focus on Rotary activities and move forward on that. So I can I've never actually shared a screen myself, but I can. Let me give it a try here. Yeah, here we go. And then does it start? How do you start this?
Good.
Yeah. Is it shared?
Yeah.
Okay. Now I have to now I have to figure out how to start. Oh God.
Put it on slide view.
Yeah.
Slideshow. Go to slideshow.
No, I'll tell you how, Russell.
Yeah.
1 second. If you 1 second.
It's at the
Go
top.
down to the bottom.
Go down to
Bottom
the bottom.
the last icon at the
There's an
bottom
icon there.
on the right.
There's an icon there which I cannot see right now.
It is on the right, last
Yeah.
right.
Got it.
Got up. Okay, great. Okay now? Okay, great. So I just wanted to review, since we're doing this for the first time, and we're relying basically primarily on principles. So we're not borrowing this from anybody. We're making this up on our own. So I just returned to first principles. Why are we doing it, and what we're trying to do? And so rather than precise, this is not a card game. We're not playing Jenga. Nobody's done it 100 times. We're doing it the first time. So whenever we have a question, we'll refer to these principles because that's why we're doing it. And this is to enhance people's Rotary experience, not to obscure it, not to get in the way, not to be an activity in and of itself. Separate from that, this is to try to make channelize activity that we want to have happen, and that would happen anyhow, but also to record things that kind of are done and are not necessarily recognized, but they are special. So that's an essential part of the purpose, and to allow people of whatever their capacities to contribute and be recognized for their contribution. Also, we have a number of new members, which we're fortunate to do. So it's nice if people look at their teams and say, I don't know some of these people at all. That'll be great, because at the end of the year, everybody's going to know everybody. And the units are small enough that if people engage in this sincerely, we will have very positive interactions in a detailed way. And that will be both small interactions and large interactions, but consistent. So that'll be helpful. And then, whenever we talk about it, remember, we're making this up. It's an experiment. So as long as we fill in the gaps with goodwill, I think it's going to be a very positive experience for people. So it's not a distraction. It's not anybody who like gets too engaged in winning, we're going to get counseling for, okay? You know, we want to encourage all that, but like Rotary should be the winner. Like people say, we're after good things. And if it starts to get any friction, we need to speak to each other really quickly so that we can remove that opportunity. We're a club full of achievers. And if you reward points for stuff, people are going to rub up against each other. So if anything like that comes up, let's all make I encourage everyone, let's address that like right away. If there's no reason for anything to percolate because it's the opposite of what we want to have done. So I don't anticipate anything, but I'm stating it openly at the beginning. Any issues, let's talk fast rather than slowly, because then we can get on to fun. So let's get, when we talk about points, again, we're reverting to principles. We don't know what will be a lot of points, what will be, how easy it will be to earn points, how much it is. So you have to think carefully, strategically, as captains, vice captains, who is on my team? How do they usually contribute? How can they be encouraged to contribute? How can you marshal your forces best? Everyone can, all the teams are really well balanced. Everyone, a good captain and vice captain, good team can win with any of these teams, but they will win in very different fashions. You know, 2 + 2, 3 + 1, 6 - 3, all this stuff. Whatever it is, there's so many ways to win. Nobody is at an obvious advantage. At least we don't know that that's the case. It's open to gamesmanship. However you play and marshal your forces, it's going to be great. So when I talk about principles, this is what I'm talking about. We, the 2, 3, 4, 5 are the baseline points awarded for these sample activities. So we have two different types. We have things that you do by yourself, solo, and things that you do with a group. Things that you do virtually, and things that are done in person. Everything gets points. These are, so I've given some examples here, but it is not even close to exhaustive. This is just to give you ideas of how you would fit this in. And basically, I'm relying on the captains. If you design an activity, look and see where it fits into this grid, and then make your case. That's looking here. This is the invitation to creativity. So if you have people who don't want to show up, but you can get them to call people every month, get them to do that. Because that has value. That increases their contact. You have to speak with them. You talk with people. Even if you speak 3 more times with a Rotary member through the year than you would otherwise, this has been a really good thing. And I suspect that it will be a lot more than that. But I mean, look, we're looking for more. We're not looking for perfect. We're looking to increase this. So as you look at this, like if you do something virtually as a group, you baseline have 3, get 3 points as a group. If you get a larger number of people, you get the majority, which I'll get to in a slide, you'll get multiplier for that. So is this concept of the grid and where activities can be slotted, does that seem clear to people? Does it? A complete list of activities that earn points will never exist because we want to invite your creativity. We want to do X. It's like this. we should get points for this, and we had 6 of our members do it, great. You're gonna have 5 and double X. So there are special situations where we want to make sure, where we're going to try and equalize. Not everyone is going to get out and go to site visits. We will have, I think we have some physical activities that we expect to have, like some sort of cricket tournament, some sort of singing tournament. Not everyone sings, not everyone moves, all that. No one should feel left out. And many of the people who are situated like that are big contributors. So let's recognize that. So, and again, this is not an exhaustive list. This is closer to exhaustive than not. But so if people are 70-year-olds plus, 2x. Team participation, well over half your members, 2x. Sunita's asked about monetary contributions, which I hadn't thought about. Again, we want to recognize people. They would normally be recognized anyhow, I think, but we want to make sure that they get recognized. At the same time, we don't want people to sort of buy victory. But we want to recognize participation. So if someone gives, we can think of many multipliers. 2x does not have to be the limit. You bring in a lot of money, it's many multiples of that. This is just a baseline understanding of ways that you can increase your score. And if you've come up with an idea where you think this is worth more than the normal scoring point, pitch it. Make your case. Our purpose is to try to encourage activity. I'm never going to take points away from somebody. Never. So we're always looking to grant points because we're looking to grant creativity and increasing activity. Aside from the end of the year where we will have sort of like a quarterfinals and a championship that will be some sort of a quiz or singing or some sort of actual activity. The league itself is not an activity. We're going to all the activities that we're going to do normally, we're going to do. They just fit into this structure. This is an overlay to the normal Rotary year. So people who propose activities, those activities should go on. I'm definitely not going, I'm running the framework. I'm not proposing activities. That's not the purpose of this. So if you have ideas for events to put on through the years, that's going to be one because that will be there through the year. I'm sorry. Yeah, let me go back. Reporting process. Sorry, this is potentially very annoying, and it's not going to be annoying. And the way that it's not going to be annoying is we're never going to have to do more than 5 or 6 people, each of us. 5, 6 people. So individuals, when they do something, they'll report it directly to their captain or vice captain. The WhatsApp, I did X, I did Y, I did Z, like that. The captains, vice captains will track those and any group activities. So you you hold a Zoom call, record your Zoom. Don't physically record, but record that you held it on what date you did. At the end of every month, captains and vice captains will assemble that and certify that, say, yeah, this makes sense to me. I think these people did that, and then send it upwards. Since the teams are, how many, Rajiv, how many are in each team? Like 6 or like 12 or 13, 11 to 13, right?
10-ish.
I forget.
11 plus 2, sir.
Yeah, it's 10-ish, like that. So if you split it between the vice captains, captain and vice captain, you do 5, I do 6, something like that. You're just tracking yourself and 5 other people. You assemble it, you review it, you certify it, you report it up to me. I'm tracking 8 people. So none of us are doing 30 people. None of us are doing 107 Rotary members. It's manageable. And should be fairly simple. I went to this meeting, I did that, something like that, and you just set up a WhatsApp group for reporting it. So however you want to do it, it's entirely up to you. And then every month we'll publish them, and so that everyone can see. Everybody's going to, people will earn points like crazy. Every month we'll post them, and there will be a leaderboard, but also captains will be able to say, hey, this person did something special. They went to their first meeting in 2 years, which could happen. You'll get like XXX for that. You say that person attended. Report that up. If something special happens that you'd like to recognize, we're going to recognize that. So the reporting part, after you do it once or twice, it'll be simple and arithmetic. It should not be difficult. And again, it's divided up so that if you share the burden, none of us are doing more than half a dozen or so, max. And individuals are responsible for making their report, and then you assemble that. That's it. Through the year will look like we'll have monthly up until April, May, where we will see where people are, and then we'll have some sort of bracket events, and like some people have suggested a drinking competition. I'm not suggesting that. I'm just we'll have some sort of quiz night or some sort of events so that people are evenly placed, and then it creates some momentum, and then we'll have finals, and then we'll announce winners. I've changed the first place is you get what did I write? 1 week in Patna. Second place is
Patna?
So just one second, I have a question.
Yeah,
is 1 week in Patna or 2 weeks in Patna, is it for the winners or the losers?
Well,
Yeah,
that's the
happening in
joke.
Patna.
Yeah, so there's an old joke.
That's a really good one.
So, like, first prize is W.C. Fields, an old-time comic. He said, first prize is 1 week all-paid vacation in Philadelphia. Second prize is 3 weeks. So I just changed Philadelphia to Patna.
No, but you're seriously thinking of Patna as a
No, not
okay.
at all. Not in the
It's Philadelphia.
slightest.
Oh, it's Philadelphia. We're going to go to Philadelphia.
Yeah, I'm. No, not in the
Okay,
slightest.
Russell, I have a question.
Okay, so now
like you've written, you've suggested that we host a lunch or a dinner. So the team hosts it for amongst themselves or for other people?
you can do it. Well, if you do it amongst yourselves, awesome. I mean, there is no cap on what people can do. Like if you say, hey, our team, we want to host everybody. Oh, hell yes. Points like crazy. It's jackpot time. Yeah, definitely. No one's going to say no to that. However, I'm just showing as an example what the small unit thing can accomplish. If you have a lunch and you have 5-6 people from your group,
Yeah,
that's great. And that's hyper valuable.
no, do you get points for that is what Sunita's asking. Yes, am I correct?
Absolutely. Yes. Yes. Lots. Yes.
Okay. I also have a question. Are we open for questions now, or are we still waiting?
Vivek politely, I couldn't tell whether Vivek had his tartar sauce up or a question. So
Go ahead, Vivek.
Vivek.
You're up next.
In case you can't see clearly, this is my first finger, not my middle finger.
Okay, good. I wasn't even worried about that. Now I'm worried.
Okay, just a quick suggestion. Well, of course, I must congratulate President Pragyan for this fabulous idea. I think it's already got people buzzing, and there's no doubt it's going to increase activities and involvement, because we are generally a very competitive people. Number one. Number two, may I also congratulate Pragyan on a fantastic choice of commissioner of this whole league, this Russell, who is already
He was the one and only choice.
Point number three, is it you said you'll publish the results every month. The idea, of course, is for people to get a little bit competitive, not over competitive, like you said, and to look at the points and, feel spurred on by that. Is it too tedious to publish results once a week? I mean, to count them like every Saturday or something, or every Sunday?
Oh,
That's too much.
if you want to do it, welcome to it. But I don't think I don't think I'll last till September if we
No,
want
not
to do
you.
that.
I presume you have a team. In fact, you do have a team.
Yeah, I do. I
Once
do have
a
a team.
week. Vivek, very serious
Once a
about the
week, too
game.
much.
Yeah.
That's too much.
I think that's a good suggestion. We can try about 15 days, Russell. What do you
Wow,
say?
fortnight.
Yeah, I think fortnight is something
I-
we'll have.
I strongly. This is. I.
Anyway, fine.
Who
We don't have to debate.
let me ask. Let me.
You decide.
Okay. So
You decide.
sorry.
The more
No.
frequent, the
Let me
better.
ask. Let me ask.
By the way,
you
sorry to
what the
interrupt you, Russell.
purpose.
To finish my point, I was actually going to suggest every evening, but I said once a week.
Oh, okay. So
Vivek,
let
be
me ask.
serious.
Why?
Serious.
Why? Can you tell me the rationale? Let me
Yeah.
help me understand the rationale.
I'll explain it. There are only 12 months in the year, and forget the 12th month, nobody does anything in June. So there are 11 months. So there's going to be only 11 results posted. So at the end of month one, I might suddenly find that I'm feeling very pleased. I'm cruising along at 100 points, and suddenly I see that, I don't know, Deepa's team has got 1,000 points. So I'll scramble, of course. But if I see every week that, Deepa now is already 100 points ahead of me, I might sort of step up my activities during the month rather than only the following month. It might actually help participate. That's the only thinking I have, but nothing,
So fortnight is, I think, good. Fortnight is good.
Anyway, we don't have to debate it. It's up to you. But
Yeah,
it's just something you can
okay.
think about. Whether there's a
Even I
possible
think fortnight is good.
mechanism.
Okay. Then let's. I mean, look, I'm open to it. It would drive me mad if I was on the other side. But if I don't have to do it, then
Why don't
We
you
are all
nominate
there to
someone
help
in
you
your
out,
team?
Russell, not to worry. We'll all
Nominate
pitch in.
someone in your team to do it.
Yeah. So I'm. So okay. So we can try fortnight.
I mean, I even think once a month is fine, because the idea is not to motivate people trying to scramble for points. One should be motivated anyways. I mean, everybody's got the gist. But
No,
short,
if we're going to be motivated anyway, we might as well stop this league.
yeah, but once
Well-
in every fortnight, I think is
I
enough
think
of a
once a
push.
month is fine.
No,
So
I think let us do this. Let us try fortnight. If it becomes too
Yeah.
cumbersome, we'll
Yeah.
move to a month.
Well, here, I might propose a middle. One, it's really important that we're able to sustain this through the year, or all of our effort will go for naught. And so I'm treating this like a marathon, not a sprint. And I'm
fair enough.
thinking, I'm thinking, I'm just sharing that, like, what can I tolerate? What would I find annoying? What would I find like getting poked all the time and stuff
Yeah.
like that? So if we say, so to me, I'm looking at it as a marathon. A month is not a terrible amount of time, and I think we should be able to sustain monthly. And if we want to accelerate, we can accelerate that. And once more, we can accelerate that into the semifinals we can use that as an accelerant.
Yeah, okay.
And say, like, from February, we can do that. So then the people can jockey for position to get into the
Yeah.
semis
Well, that
like
makes
that.
sense.
So, but I think it's really, we're all of the captains, vice captains, there's a lot of sincerity being poured into this. And I think it behooves us to make sure that we end up in May having been happy and done this. And so if it's a little light and it sustains, we'll do that. So that's what my suggestion would be. We use that as an accelerant after people get the rhythm done. And if people say, hey,
yeah,
I
fair
want to
enough.
do that.
I think, yeah, let's decide on that, Russell. I agree.
That use it, do it more frequently towards the end as opposed to now. Yeah.
Yeah, and if it becomes like, hey, people are absolutely into this, we can just let it go. Yeah, I mean, we can get on it right there. So that would be, I think that's where I come down on it, not out of irritation, but because this is mile 1 of a or this is the first kilometer, first 10 meters of 42.6. We have to finish. We have to finish together. We have to finish not hating each other. You know, it's really important that we do that, I think. Anyhow, so let's try that. If we'll do that, we'll use it as an accelerant when it seems appropriate.
So are we going to announce the first set of results on the 1st of August?
No, September.
September.
Because we haven't, I mean, we can if not everyone is off to the races.
First of August, we just have how many days? I mean, like today is what, the 23rd?
So we'll start.
Just a week to go.
If I may say
think
something.
first September.
If I may say something, while the league this competition has just started, as you correctly said, the idea is not just it's for doing normal Rotary work. Rotary work has been happening since the 1st of July. People have attended things like the installation of the Interact Club.
Yes, I agree.
You know, people have done some other activities which we've all seen on the thing. Why should they not get points for it?
No, it's an absolutely valid point. If all the captains should, you know, probably might have to reach out and encourage people to report, which everyone should do. And I'll get to that in a minute. But yeah, absolutely valid point.
And by the way, I did not attend the installation of the Interact Club because I was quarantining. So I'm not saying it because I did it. I didn't do it.
Oh.
So somebody else's team is going to get points because of my suggestion right now. But I think they should.
Okay. Oh, are you like Biden? You've got.
I'm trying to figure out I think I'm like Kamala Harris.
Oh no, you're in quarantine. He's in quarantine too.
Oh yeah, I was in quarantine. That's true.
Yeah,
but no, I think I identify more with Kamala. I'm a person of color. Well, maybe there was some time in my past life when I was a woman.
This is getting very deep very quickly. Let's. Okay, Brenda, you've waited so patiently.
No, nothing. This is all the discussion is what was on my mind. But I don't want to derail you from what your strategic salient features were. If we're open to questions, then I'll ask now. Otherwise, I'll wait.
We're open to questions. My suggestions for the captains is like to have a kickoff meetings for your team by Zoom or something like that, and this whole thing is sort of like a communist infiltration exercise. I'm training. We're discussing at this level. Then it goes lower and lower into the cells, right? So bring it. So not that I'm an urban Knoxville or anything like that, but but that's the idea. That my suggestion would be, and I can, if you want me to be on those calls, like for each team, if you'd like me to be there to help answer any questions or anything like that, I'm happy to do. First call is free, so I'll do.
Call is free and triple the rate afterwards, is it?
Well, we'll decide, but I'm saying if that's of utility to people, then please just let me know, and I'm happy to do that. But you're all perfectly capable of doing that. But if you want, if you'd like, then I'll do it for every team.
So are you flagging off now? I mean, like today is like the flagging off of
the Rotary year, as Vivek pointed out really well. The club has been doing stuff, right?
Yeah. I don't think we can exclude July because
Yeah,
and,
let's, we can
excluding
add the
anything.
points of July also.
and whoever's
Definitely.
not done activities in July, they can always catch up in the months to come. And the
Exactly.
heavens are falling. I mean,
Yeah,
Exactly.
no, the point is to capture things and reward it, not to exclude. And so in that spirit, yeah, I hadn't thought about it. I thought everyone should start off from a particular point, but no, Rotary has already been going on, so we should recognize that. And that makes a lot of sense to me. And now that you know how to record things, and then just record and share. So
So
we'll
my
report
my
from there.
question was to Russell, Pragyan, and of course anybody else who's on the board this year, the Rahul and whoever, is that, say for example, as a captain or as a vice captain, I have an idea that I would like to, apart from the fellowships, I would like to do a picnic in November or December at Sundar Nursery. How should I ideally do it? Should we do it open to all the Rotary members of the club, and whoever can make it, everybody gets points? Or should we limit it to our own group? Or do we need to put these programs or ideas that we have, put it across to Pragyan and the group first? Because there might be a ball that year, that month, there might be a debate that month, there might be something that supersedes in importance than any of these team programs. Do I need to run it by them and clear that, look, or I make a declaration that this is what we want to do, and then Pragyan or Deepa says, well, we have the debate this month and we want all our members to come there, and it's going to distract everybody from, so don't do it this month. How do we work around something like that?
If I can make 2 suggestions.
Okay.
Yeah.
One is if anyone does an event which is going to distract from one of our main club events, there should be negative points for that person's team.
Huh?
And secondly, what an amazing thing that I was also thinking of a trip to Sundar Nursery picnic in November.
Oh, come now, Vivek, stop cheating. Stop it.
Look,
Okay.
when it is a matter of within your own team, all you have to do is just check up from Deepa that whether there is a event on that particular day. That's nothing great.
I don't think the team or anybody needs to inquire me or Pragyan or anyone when they have to do something on their own for
Within
their
the team.
Okay, within
for
the
the
team,
whole
you
club?
don't need permissions.
But
Yeah,
for the whole club then?
So we already have already kept a schedule that this time the fellowship dinners, Pragyan wanted it to be outdoor, as we were mentioning, even in the club assembly. That one time it's going to be at Sundar Nursery, and one time it's going to be a walk in Kiran Nadar Museum. One time it's going to be in Chandni Chowk. All the fellowships are planned. The calendar has been out. So though we did not pin in a few pointers because the place
sorry,
has to be
I
booked.
wasn't aware of all this.
No, I mentioned, maybe forgot. So the Chandni Chowk visits and all have been happening also to do the recce of all these places. So unless and until it doesn't clash, like you can always see, because Pragyan, I hope I'm not wrong, you will be posting that month's itinerary in the beginning of the month, right? We can't hear you.
The calendar is already out.
I know, that's what I'm saying. The calendar is already out. If you people don't mind, kindly just go there and check in that month what and all is being planned. So it's not that it's a hard fast rule that Sundar Nursery will happen in November just because we wrote it in November. It might change here and there according to the availability of other things, or we might tweak Sundar Nursery in October instead of November. There will be very minor changes. But outdoor activities, at least 3 or 4 we want to do, like a Diwali fellowship, which is going to be outdoor, and a Sundar Nursery walk, a Kiran Nadar Museum walk, a Chandni Chowk Haveli fellowship. These are the 4 we plan majorly. Rest, I don't think. Rest is going to be speaker meetings, one joint meeting, and things like that. So I hope all the captains know about it. Kindly look into the calendar once, which has been posted in the notifications.
The
So
calendar is out till December, and it's also going to be there in the website. It's also in
No.
the website actually. It's already.
Calendar we've seen. My question is, there's some things like the debate has not been decided which month, etc., etc. So do we just need to run it by you all, or do we just go ahead and plan what we're planning? That's what my question was.
At the small group level, is that what you're asking, Brenda? At the
No,
small
and the
group
whole
level?
Rotary group level.
Well, then, I mean, it'll make sense.
So I think
Yeah, I mean,
when we have our
there's
meetings
plenty.
with our club, with our groups, and we're brainstorming, and somebody comes up with 3 ideas, then we need to know whether we need to run it by you all in the board, I mean, through you all who are planning for the rest of the year, or can we just go ahead and say, okay, fine, let's just work on these and just tell you that this is what we're doing. Otherwise,
activity, I think if it's a full club activity, then yes.
If I can answer that.
Yeah.
As Russell has clearly enunciated, I think well enunciated in the beginning of this meeting, the league is going to be run as part of the Rotary activities.
Yeah.
If anyone is going to be planning an all club event, normally one has to run it by the president. So that because if it's an all club event, if it's 5 people or 10 people, it's a separate matter. But if it's an all club event, I mean, I think it's common.
For the dates, is what
you're
I
going to run it by the president. The president decides whether it's going to be an event or not. If it's going to be there, then you can still claim credit, saying I gave this idea to the president and therefore I deserve X number of points. So my team does, or whatever it is. Or we are organizing it and therefore we'll get points. So, whatever it may be. But I don't think it's going to change the way the club functions in its basic sense. All that's going to happen is you're going to get points alongside.
Right.
So Russell is not going to suddenly be the Rotary president, even though we hope he is, but not at the same time as Pragyan. But the point is, he's not suddenly taken on the mantle of running the club. He's also got enough to do, and he's running the league. He's making sure the league happens in the right.
So there are very few instances where I can foresee taking away points. But I would say there's one. Someone who proposes something that costs money and they don't have the funding. Or someone that says, I have a good idea. Why doesn't someone do this? Then I'm going to be like, but if they come up and they say, I have the funding, I'm going to put my team behind it, we'll do that, fine. The only time somebody's going to lose mucho points is when they stand up and say, oh, I've got an idea. Why doesn't this happen? Well, because we don't have money, because you're not helping, you're not doing this like that. That's the only time I'm going to like lash out for no points. But everything else is, I'm not going to do that. So, or somebody, other than that, as Vivek's restated, you would normally, there's nothing different. Like if you wanted to pitch something for the club, you'd have to go with, you'd coordinate that upwards. If you want to have a small group thing, you wouldn't call people to ask permission to have friends over for dinner or go on a picnic or go bowling or go to see a movie that's come out or something. You just do it. So just, just do that stuff. I'm just trying to encourage that. In fact, if more things happen outside of our purview, that just like you get together, you have one more lunch with people that you wouldn't have had lunch with this year. Oh man, that just one lunch would be great, right? One more lunch with 4 or 5 more people. That would be great. Oh no.
Yeah,
I also propose
understood. Everything is understood.
I'll propose in case Deepa runs a meal for as many people, which has got prawn curry there, 5 times the number of points.
Okay. So
yeah.
So
understood, Russell.
Okay, so I'm trying to keep this really simple, but not simplistic, because so that we can convey it. There's no, and I'm happy to meet with anybody. I'll tell you this much: I will check that WhatsApp group once a day, and that's it. So if you're like Brenda, if you're there and like somebody, you're at the picnic in Sundarnagar with 5 people, and somebody gets their, cuts their hand or something, and you've got your hand, and you say, do I get points for applying a tourniquet? Then you can call me. Then call me. I'll answer that. But anything short of like that, once a day. Once a day, I'll check it. So
What time?
yeah, that's the mysterious thing. I don't know. I guess whenever whenever I get some space so that I can look at people's comments seriously and respond to them.
No, I don't think it's gonna bother you that much.
No. I'm not even being grumpy. I'm just saying, like, that's just how it's gonna be. So, like, understand, like, it might be 200 messages accumulate, and then I'll get to it at 4 o'clock or something, just so that we know how we can operate together. And if you need to ask something quickly, to call me or do something. I don't anticipate a situation like that. Mostly people don't get stabbed in Sundarnagar, but you never know. So then go ahead and
or we can give you
call me.
a 3-4 day window to respond if we have a question. And then 3-4 days, at some point, you'll probably go through your WhatsApp messages and have an answer for us.
I'm gonna try to go every day.
No,
That
just
doesn't-
call him till he picks up the phone, Brinda.
I don't think that's ridiculous. That's
No, it's
realistic for either Pragyan or. So I bumped into Uday Walia in the evening today, and he said, I don't understand why the Rotarians are taking Rotary so seriously. So I said, what are you talking about? Whose team are you in? First of all. I said, this is serious business. Then I said, no, just relax. The league is not like, it's not like a killer league, it's just to get everybody excited. And then he said something very important. He said, this is a good strategy that these two lawyers have put together, because they've just dissipated and they've given all their work to all the Ghodas and the Bandars in their team, in their Rotary. So he's saying, okay, go ahead, do it. Pragyan can sit back and read his law books.
I mean, my goals are like, if we end up meeting or interacting a couple more times with people we haven't interacted with, if however that interaction is, if it's I think that will be worth that. And I think the potential for much more interaction is there in a genuine and simple way. So my goals for this are pretty modest, but aimed at us, people interacting more through the year and more.
No, Russell, I think it's very interesting, very, very innovative and extreme fun. So can we wrap up now?
Yeah, yes.
Yeah.
We can wrap up. After that, I have one quick question.
Okay.
Whoever wants to leave can leave.
Brenda, I'll stay on with you. Everyone else, thanks so much. And
thanks. Thank you very much, Russell. Thank you.
And if you want me for your individual meetings or something like that, if you just want, or I can supply a cardboard cutout, it's much more attractive. I've airbrushed it. But either way, if you want me at any time, then don't hesitate. I'll do that for sure.
Let's, Russell, probably every team should have their own WhatsApp group or whatever, so that reportings can be done into that WhatsApp.
Good.
Yeah, of course, we'll do that.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thanks so much. Thanks so much, everyone.
Thanks, Pragyan. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you, Russell.
Good
Thank you
night.
so much.
Many thanks.
I'm staying on, Russell, for a minute.
I'm staying on.